Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Green. This is the final lesson I've got in this unit that we're looking at that's dealing with fractions and percentages. And this time I want to talk to you about some applications of how we apply percentages. So the big idea is that you might have heard someone say at one point in your life, the only thing that's constant in life is change. Well, the way that we describe change is by talking about percent increases or decreases, increasing percentages or decreasing percentages, okay? For example, from 2000 to 2010, the population of the United States increased from this 281 million to 308 million. That's almost a 10% increase. That's what we're talking about. That 10% increase is the thought of the change that we're talking about. So let's see how we calculate some of those. A percent increase or decrease is found the same exact way. You have to know whether it's increasing or decreasing. And what you do is you take the difference to find how much it was increasing or decreasing between the two numbers, and then divide it by the original number. Then you multiply by 100 to get your percentage, okay? So your percent change is going to be the old value, the new value minus the old value. The difference between the new numbers. Notice how they're taking the absolute value of it, and then they're dividing by the old value to give you this 100%. These are the same numbers right here. Don't be confused. Yes. Okay? So let's look at this. At Furnace Woods School, enrollment increased from 320 students in 2006 to 349 students in 2007. What's the percent increase? Well, it is an increase, so we know we're going to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 349 minus 320, absolute value of that, divided by 320 times 100 to get the percent. Okay? Now, why did I take 349 minus 320? Well, I could have said it the other way around. Since it is an absolute value, it would have been exactly the same values. This was the original value, though, wasn't it? Increased from this number to this number. So the 320 is the original value. That's why I'm dividing by the 320. So let's whip out our handy dandy little calculator here and turn it on and take 349 minus 320 and we get 29. We divide by 320, got to put the right number in there, 320, and hit enter, and we get 0.0906, 0.0906 times 100 is going to give me 9.06% increase. Cool? Let's try another one. Tuition at a college increased from, that's my beginning number, to, that's the ending number. So 59 minus 50, 59,000 minus 50,000. Absolute value divided by 50,000 times 100. See, I just wrote it all down. That's 9,000 divided by 50,000 times 100. I'm going to show you a trick here. Zeros don't matter. I got 9 over 50. That's actually equal to 0.18 times 100. I didn't even have to use a calculator for that, which is equal to an 18%, and it went up, increase. Okay? Doing a couple more here. My original price of $212 will be maybe discounted by 39%. If my original price was $212, if I take 212 times 0.39, is that going to give me the answer? The answer is no, it's not. Let's go ahead and do it anyway. 212 times 0.39. That gives you $82.68. $82.68. Is that how much they're going to sell it for? No, because that was the discounted by 39%. That's what that 39% represented. So I would take 212 minus $82.62. So 212 minus $82. Oops, you know what? I want to show you that trick. I can press second and the minus sign, it sticks the answer in there. So it sticks that answer right in there and gives me $129.32. That's how much they would be selling it for. Another trick that you might need to know. Sometimes, if I took that 39%, well, you know what? 1 minus 0.39 is equal to 0.61. And then if I multiply that times 212, I get that same 129.32. How'd you do that? Because if they discounted it by 39%, that means they're selling it for 61%. That's how much was left. And then you can multiply times that percentage and get the value that they're selling it for. Okay? Let's try one more of those. Let's try it that other way. So 812 discounted by 13%, that's 87% they're selling it for. So that means if I multiply times 0.87, how do I get 0.87? 1 minus 0.13 equals 0.87. So if I multiply times 0.87, I should get the price. 812 times 0.87. And I get $706.44. 706.44. That would be the price that I'm selling it for. Let's think about this for a second. 13 is close to 10%. 10% of this is going to be $81. If I subtract $81 from 812, 812 minus 81, 1, and that becomes a 11, that becomes a 7, 8, 9, 3, $73.10. Yeah. 80, 10% of the 8 million. So if I subtract 8 from that, that'd be 73, $731. Yeah, I estimated low at 13%, so 731 is more than 706. That's a little bit higher. That's pretty much what I would expect it to be, around that number. That's the value right there, 706.44. That's the discounted sales price. Okay. Let's look at a couple more. How much interest does a $318 investment earn at 9% over 1 year? You take 318 times 0.09. That's what that's what it's telling you to do here, is multiply. So I'm going to take 318 times 0.09. Got to turn it on. 318 times 0.09, and you get $28.62. $28.62. So is my $318 only worth this number right here? No, you got to add it on. Okay? So I need to add to that the $318 to get a total of $346.62. Okay? It says if you borrow $675 for 6 years at an internal rate of 10%, how much interest will you pay? Well, that's 10% a year. Typically, that's going to be $67.50 times 10. That means you're going to pay $675 in interest as well. So that's going to be a lot of interest money that you're paying. You have to be careful when you're doing these type of things. Okay? So I wanted to make certain that you saw how some of these are worked. You're going to see some of these problems in your study guide. You'll see some of them on the quiz, and then we'll be ready to take the test pretty quickly here. So make certain you come to Class Connect so that we get a little review of everything so that you're prepared to take the test. I look forward to seeing you next time.